My name is Ron Moss. I'm the Patrol Division Commander for the San Bernardino Police Department in California.
What has been your agency's involvement with body-worn cameras in the recent past, or what stage of implementation is your agency currently at?
We started looking into bringing body-worn cameras on board the department shortly after the Ferguson incident. Formed a committee at that stage. That was before there was any grant funding available. So we'd already started a policy review committee, and then the grant funding opportunity came around, and so we started looking into that. It actually slowed up our process. We would have already had the cameras on board had it not been for the grant process, but the grant process obviously makes it easier for us to get more cameras and bring it on board in a more universal fashion across the department. So now we're at the stage where we've developed the policy, just had the review of the policy, and getting ready to go to RFP for manufacturers, though we've already done a study of 6 different cameras, 4 different manufacturers of what was available about a year ago to try to identify what would work for our department and what wouldn't. So.
Okay, great. And what do you see as the greatest benefit and the greatest challenge regarding implementation of body-worn cameras in your agency?
One of the greatest benefits that we've seen is the opportunity to demonstrate that our officers are doing what we expect them to do in the first place. That they are conducting themselves in a professional fashion, that they are doing what is what they've been trained to do, what's been mandated by policy, and that they are representing the city in a fashion that is more than acceptable but expected by the community. One of the initial concerns we had would maybe be the receptiveness of officers to wearing the body-worn cameras. But due to incidents across the nation, there was truly a paradigm shift within the organization as to, I would say 3 years ago, officers would have been very resistant to it. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, that changed. And we're at the stage now where the officers are actually clamoring to have, the majority of officers, not everybody, but the majority of officers are actually clamoring to have cameras.
And what sort of assistance have you received regarding implementation of body-worn cameras, and what assistance would be of the greatest help to you at this time?
Because we started the process before the grant was out there, before any of the assets and resources had been brought together in a single site, we had to take it upon ourselves to find policies at other agencies, look at those policies, look at implementation, look at some of the pratfalls that other agencies had experienced, and so it was more of a hunt and peck, random search process. What we're seeing happen now is that all of those assets are being brought together in single places, like the BJA's website, where you don't have to spend as many hours as I spent searching for those resources. You can get to them much quicker, much more directly, and have a more comprehensive review of what's available, what's been done, what mistakes have been made, how those mistakes have been addressed, what things to avoid in your process, rather than repeat prior people's errors, learn from those errors and have a better implementation up front.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.